Alrighty, welcome everybody. I hope you guys are ready to do some stamping tonight. So I kind of have a special tonight, but before I get to that, I just want to welcome everybody, introduce myself. My name is Julie Brown. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome. So I'm really excited you're here. This is the first time that I am trying to stream both live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So I do have the comments open. Not sure if they're going to work since this is my first time doing it. But if you are here and you want to say hello, just type in the comments. Let me know you're here. And also, if you have any questions, type those in the comments. I do try to look at them and see if anyone has any questions. All right, so I've got a little bit of housekeeping really quick while everybody's getting on. So we're almost done with August. So the August host code is listed right there for those of you that will be placing orders with me this month. For anyone that places an order under $150, that is the host code for you to use. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. So if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you see some stuff that you absolutely love tonight, I would absolutely appreciate your orders. You can email me, reach out to me at juliescreativestampin@gmail.com. My Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram pages are listed there. My YouTube channel is a little bit different. It's juliebrown.juliescreativestamping. And then I do have a blog/website that I am working on, and that's juliescreativestamping.com. Oh, now I can take a breath, right? Okay, couple of things going on. So for those of you that placed orders in July and you got coupons, please make sure you redeem those by tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day that you can redeem them. So I don't want any of you guys to miss out on that. If you have lost your, what you would have gotten was an email from Stamping Up that had a coupon code, and you need that. And then when you put your order in, there's a place for coupon codes to be entered. If you've lost that, you can either reach out to the demonstrator that you placed the order through, or you can try to get in contact with demonstrator support. That's a little bit hard to do, or customer service right now, because they are being overloaded, and I mean overloaded with phone calls right now. So hopefully you can get that figured out. If not, just try to reach out and get someone to help you. You can reach out to me as well, and I'll try to help you with that. So tonight, because we have had a wonderful sale going on our kits. So let me switch it to that so you can see that. We have had our kits for sale up to 30% off. And again, this ends tomorrow. So I really felt like I should go show you guys the kits and what they're all about. I know a lot of you do the Paper Pumpkin subscription, and these are, you know, kind of like those, but these are online only. You can order them online only, and at the end of this, I will kind of walk you through how to get online and how to get those ordered. I will have a link in the description where you can click on that link. It will take you straight to my store. You can click on the shop, and then you can look up the kits collection. All right, so let's get started, because I'm going to walk you through start to finish on these kits. All righty, so here we go. So the one that I'm going to start with is this Boho Beach kit. And I just want, this comes like, it's wrapped in like a really tight cellophane. And I went ahead and took that off, but it always shows you what kit it is. And so I just kind of wanted to start you from start to finish, show you what it looks like when you open it, and how we're going to design 2 of the cards in this kit so you can see how easy these kits are. All right, so when you open the box, this is what you see, and it's you're always going to get, we call these our Stampin' Spots, and you're always going to get 1 ink. Sometimes you get 2 inks if they're running a special. And I always just take my paper snips, and right on one edge, I just kind of run it across, and that opens the ink spot for me. So that's what I do with that. Then you're going to have this, you're going to have a stamp set that's in there that you're going to be using. And then everything else is kind of packaged together. And so when you pull it out, it's a whole package. So let me get the box out of the way. And we are going to just, again, use my paper snips and just get this plastic. You just need to take this off. And what's really cool about these is if you are brand new to stamping and you've never stamped before, you can do these kits. They are designed for you know, stampers that are just starting, but you can also dress them up a little bit if you're a casual stamper or an avid stamper. So they work for you too. Now you're going to get a block. Now our normal blocks, because I just want to show you, because some people get confused. When you purchase our normal blocks, they are quite a bit thicker. But for this, you get this size block, and all of the stamps will fit on this block. And so I always tell everybody, keep your blocks, because as you order kits, you'll start gaining some blocks, and then you'll have a nice little set of blocks going on. Okay, so normally, so if there's any type of ribbon or thread, it's in the kit. It has dimensionals in the kit. So it has everything that you need to put this together. Now, again, this is the boho beach kit collection. And look how pretty the envelopes are. Aren't they just gorgeous? They're so pretty. Now, those of you that are casual or avid stampers, you might actually, you know, break these down and use part of these envelopes to make some extra cards. But if you're just beginning, you don't need to worry about all that. Here's your card bases. Look how pretty that is. So we've got the card bases. We've got these little like die cuts that we're gonna be punching out. Now, what I normally do is before I get started, I go ahead and I will look, I mean, I just want to show you how easy these are to punch out. So when I get started, I just go through, and any of these die cuts that need to be punched out, I go ahead and punch these out. Now, I was hoping tonight that I would have time to design some alternatives, but I didn't. So but sometimes you're gonna save these pieces possibly to add on to other cards. That is for, I'm talking to you casual and avid stampers out there. And so we're gonna do the same thing here. We're just gonna come in and we're just gonna carefully tear this. I don't want to use the word tear, because you don't want to tear it in half, but you definitely want to get these punched out. And of course you want to be, you know, pretty careful with these ones that have real skinny little pieces, like the post to that. And so we're gonna do this here. So I'm not seeing any comments, so I don't know if, I hope this is working. It's my first time doing it. If you are on, even if it's your first time watching me, just kind of let me know that you're here, because I need to know whether my comments are working or not. Like I said, first time trying to multi-stream to do 2 different places at one time. Okay. And so again, so one of the things that I'm going to suggest to you is when you know, like I'm doing right now, when you get ready to start your kit. Hey, Mel. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. So when you get ready to start these kits, you want to, like I'm doing, just punch out all these little die cut pieces. Now, again, I know most of you are used to what we call our paper pumpkins, and those are a monthly subscription. They work pretty much the same as what you're seeing here. Hey, Cindy. But these are our, these kits are for sale. You don't see them in our catalogs, but they are online. And again, if you hang on till the end, I'm going to show you where to find them. So there's more card bases here. And then we have all these fun labels that we're going to punch out. And I kind of apologize having you guys watch me do this, but I also wanted to show you how easy these come apart. And I'm also going to show you, I don't know, I think we still have the robot kit, but I'm going to show you after I get done with this kit, the cards made with that robot kit, because my grandchildren did that. Hey, Susie. And my grandchildren are 9 and 5. And they actually just follow the directions, and they're able to make these kits. So again, when I tell you that they're simple and they're easy to put together, they absolutely are. All right. And I'm not throwing, since Susie's here, Susie likes to use all of these other pieces to add on and make alternative cards. But so I just want you to know, Susie, I'm not throwing those pieces away. I'm setting them off to the side so that you can, so that if I decide I want to make some alternative cards, which, and when I talk about alternative cards, again, I'm kind of speaking to the casual and avid stampers. That's when you're going to bring in, you know, maybe some other paper, maybe some other cardstock, and use some of your pieces and parts that are left over. Like, you wouldn't think like you could use that, but you can definitely cut this out and use it and start adding dimension to your cards. And so it's a way to stretch out your kits and get more out of the kit. Susie is a champion at doing this. Her and I we have customers that are subscribed to Paper Pumpkin, and once a month we do Paper Pumpkin Alternatives, which is coming up tomorrow. And that's what we do for them. We show them how to take that kit and expand it so that they get more cards out of it. But, you know, if you're just starting out, just make the cards that are in here and don't worry about all this other stuff. So one of the really cool things about this is it comes with instructions to put these cards together. And the instructions are not written, okay? They're just pictures that show you how to put it together. So like right here, it's telling me everything that I'm gonna need to do card 1. And right here, it tells me everything that I need to do card 2. Hey, Connie. All right, and then when you flip that open, it's gonna tell you step-by-step instructions without writing it. And this is why, if you have young kids that like to craft, these are perfect for them, because this is what my grandkids love about it. I mean, this right here tells them, okay, you're gonna stamp that, you're gonna use these 3 stamps, and it shows them exactly, I don't know if you guys can see these little lines, it shows them exactly where to stamp everything. And then it shows them where to put the glue dots and where to put them on the card front. So super, super easy. And so there's card 1, there's card 2. So we're gonna start with card 1. And so I'm gonna go back here because I'm gonna kind of walk you through. And I actually sat down and talked to my grandkids today and asked them, so tell me how you do this. How do you do your paper pumpkins each month? And so, you know, Callie said, Grandma, I start with number 1 and I pull all of the pieces. And I'm like, okay, I do want to show you one little thing. So when you see these symbols right here, the dark dots mean glue dots. These are glue dots for those of you that are just starting out. And then the octagon shapes that are kind of outlined are the dimensionals, and they come in a pack like this. Okay, so again, it tells you everything you need. So we're gonna need glue dots, we're gonna need dimensionals. We are going to need one of these pieces. Do you see where I hope you guys can follow me. We're gonna need one of these pieces. We are gonna need one of those umbrellas. Okay. We're gonna need this label, and I'm just pulling it out of this little pile over here. All right, and then we're gonna need these 3 stamps. So, and again, I hope you guys, you know, I'm gonna try to get a little closer just so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So let me move these pieces out of the way because I've already, it told me to get these 3. All right, and then right here, it's telling me which stamps that I need. Because I mean, if you get started, you're only gonna have 1 block. And so I'm gonna work as if this is my very first kit. I've never stamped before, and this is the only block I have. And so I'm gonna show you how you switch back and forth by just pulling those off and putting them on. So I'm gonna grab my stamp set, and I'm just gonna pull this top little film off. And I'm gonna grab this first stamp, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna stick that on here. All right, so now I can actually go to my directions for card number 1. And the other thing is right here, it tells me I'm gonna need 12 inches of that linen thread. And I wanna show you another really fun trick. because you're like, oh, but I don't have a ruler. You know what? It's okay. Because guess what? Let me pull you back out a little bit. We have a ruler. So this is 1 to 9 inches. Or I guess it would start here. And then this is going to be your like centimeters over here. So for those of you that need the centimeters, it has that. But then what you do, so we've already got our little ruler right here, because everyone's like, well, how do I figure out what 12 inches is? So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go, okay, so 0 to 9, and then I need 3 more inches. So I'm going to bring it back to the 0 to the 3, and then I'm just going to snip it with my scissors. So you will need like scissors to do this. But like I said, you're going to need a few other little items, but these are things that they're more like tools that you need for making cards, and scissors is one of those tools. Yeah, Susie, I agree. It's neat that these kits come not only with all the adhesives that we need, but it also comes with a clear block to help you build that collection. Absolutely. Okay, so I've got this. All right. So I'm going to pull my card base. So it shows me it's this card base. So this is my card base, and you'll see that this does fold, right? And this is one of those cases. So I know I'm talking mainly to you beginners, but I'm also talking to avid and casual stampers. This is where those of us that are avid or casual stampers would probably cut this in half and make 2 cards instead of 1. And then we would use some of our cardstock to mount this on that. But I'm going to do it exactly how it is here, because I feel like that is sufficient. And oh, look, Susie, look which bone folder I'm using. Susie did this bone folder for me because I have a pink one that she hates. All right, so here's my instructions. And I'm going to try to kind of move my instructions up here a little bit, just because I believe you need to make sure you have a level surface when you're stamping. And then I'm going to come in with this pecan pie. Now, I'm going to teach you a little bit about getting your stamps ready to stamp, because these photopolymer stamps can sometimes have a protective coating on them. And so sometimes in the beginning, they don't take ink well. So what I do is I ink them up, and that actually inked up really good. And then I just kind of keep stamping until it looks like the ink is gone. But because that first image looked really good, I know that these stamps are probably okay. So that's just kind of a little tip for you to know that sometimes these photopolymers need to be conditioned. Okay, so it's showing me right here where to stamp that. It has a little arrow. And so I'm just going to come in, and I'm going to put that straight down and straight back up. All right. Now, if I was going to do all of the cards, I would probably have all of these cards laid out, because I believe it makes, 3 or 4 of these. Let me look. Let me see. Yeah. So it would be making 4 of this same card. And so I would have all 4 of them, and I would just stamp, stamp, stamp across. But I'm not doing that. So this would be another thing that you would want to get, which is these are our chamois. You just keep this moistened with water, and it cleans your stamps for you. So that's something that I would add if you see these kits and you think that this is something great. Especially if you're going to buy this as a gift for like a grandchild, a child, a niece, a nephew, I would get them one of those chamois to go with it, so that they can clean their stamp sets as they're going. Okay, so now I'm going to take the next stamp. And again, I'm acting like I'm brand new and I only have 1 block. Normally I would have these, because obviously I'm a demonstrator, so I have quite a few blocks. Again, I'm going to condition this stamp just to make sure I get a good coverage of the ink. And then I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. I'm not pushing hard, I'm just tapping. And this time it tells me that I need to stamp it right here on the rocks. And then also over here. And I'll bring that closer so that you can see those instructions, because I want you guys to realize how super easy these kits are. All right, and so let me show you what I'm talking about. So here is that stamp, and it showed me right there and then right there. All right, and then the last thing that we're going to stamp is the sentiment. So again, I'm going to clean this off. But you can see, even if you only have one block, this actually goes pretty quick. Even if you do have to switch off your stamps. And I'm just spoiled, guys. I'm just spoiled because I have a lot of blocks. So I have the opportunity to just get them all set up and ready to go. And that's just me being spoiled, right? Okay, so now we're going to bring in that sentiment. And if you'll notice, it shows you to have this little, like these little notches. And it shows you, put those towards the bottom and then stamp your sentiment. And a trick for stamping sentiments is make sure you're using a paper that has some lines on it, because the most important thing is to make sure that your your paper that you're stamping your sentiment on is straight to begin with. Again, I conditioned that stamp. The other nice thing about these kits is you know what? All of this stuff can be stored in the box that it came in. And it doesn't take a lot of room to store the blocks and those little tiny stamp sets. And then you have a nice little collection of stamp sets as you get these kits. Same thing with Paper Pumpkin subscriptions. It helps you to kind of build up a stamp, you know, but if you're one of those people that doesn't have a lot of area, a lot of space to store things, this is perfect for you. Because, I mean, look how this does not take up much room, right? And you can store like your cards in. I would have one box that I store my finished cards in so that I know where to go get them to mail them. And then if I got another kit, I would use the next box to store like my stamp sets, my ink pot. You know, I would do my block, my stamp sets. Guys, look how, I mean, you can store a lot of stuff in here. And it just doesn't take very much space. All right. So I have everything stamped. That was step 1. So now I'm on to step 2, and I'm going to kind of bring this in so that you can see what I'm doing. Maybe. All right. So now what it's telling me is to put, now remember I told you these little black dots means that they're glue dots. And so it's telling me that I need to get my glue dots. And I'm going to show you this. So these kind of have, so one side kind of has like a brown, like highlight on it, and the other side is flat white. And you can decide which side you want to use on these. I tend to like the side that has like that brown, where you can see the brown. Okay, I guess I should be saying the right color, pecan pie. All right, so I'm going to set this over here. Let me see if I can get this all in the screen. And then I'm going to come in with my glue dots. Now, I have a lot of fun tools that I use to help me get these glue dots off, but I'm going to pretend I don't have these tools today, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to just get these glue dots. So what you do is you just bend right next to the glue dot that you want, and then it will allow you, well, maybe, to grab it because it comes up off that paper just a little bit. So it's telling me to put one there, and then it's telling me to put one down here and one down here. Now, the ones that are lower are probably going to be a little bit thick. And so what I'm going to do is kind of set it on there. I'm going to bring this closer once I get it to stick. So I just want to show you guys this trick. So see how that glue dot is a little bit bigger than the stem? So all you do is you just fold it over, okay? So that all of it stays on the stem. And then I need one more down here at the bottom. Again, I'm just folding this paper back, and that allows these glue dots to pop right up into your fingers. Again, I'm gonna just put that on there so that one edge catches it. I'm gonna remove that topping, and I'm just gonna fold that over. All right. So there's that one. And because I kind of already took the top papers off, I'm going to go ahead and place this one. All right, so this goes kind of to the right and at an angle of the flower or the leaf that we stamped. So that's going to sit right there. And then the next thing that's going to go on is these leaves, these brown, these look like crumb cake leaves. And again, it tells us exactly how many glue dots to use. I only need 3. You can use more if you want to, but I am going to follow these directions because I'm trying to show you how simple and easy these cards are. And just to let you know, this would be going a lot faster if I wasn't having to stop and explain myself. But I still think it's going pretty fast, because I told you that these are quick and easy cards, and they absolutely are. Okay, so my last one is going to go right here, and again, I'm still bending this to get those glue dots to come up off of that protective paper. And then we just, you know, you can use your fingernail if you have a little tool that, even like a needle or something, you can get the tops of those whites off if you have problems with that. So this is going to sit just a little bit below and to the right, but you want to make sure it's not going off the page. And then we're just going to set that down. Okay. And then next is our, and I want to make sure I have the right one. I think I do. It doesn't. Yeah, that's the, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to use this one, and again, it's telling me to just put 2 dots. You know what I'm going to do, guys? I just realized I'm white on white here. So I'm going to bring in one of my silicone mats. You don't have to have one of these, but it's just going to make it easier for you to see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Didn't think about that ahead of time. Okay, so again, it's telling me to put those 2 dots here and here. So can you guys see how my grandkids can sit and make these cards? They don't even need my help because these steps are in pictures, and it just shows them what to do. Oh, I didn't get that glue dot off. I was wondering why that wasn't sticking. All right, so those kind of popped off already. So this is going to sit kind of right there. Okay, so now the next thing was, and oh, sorry, I got ahead. The next thing is to cut that ribbon, which I already did, or the twine. And then it says to tie it in a bow. Now I am horrible at tying bows. So I do have a bow helper for myself. And this will be kind of good because I'm always showing you guys how to do the small bow with my bow maker. So those of you that have my bow maker, you're going to get to see how the big one works now. So basically I'm using these as the legs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this around. And I usually just go around these 2 legs, but I'm using the whole thing because I'm making a bigger bow. And I'm just going to stick it through that right there. And then I'm going to pull this up, pull this left side over, and then tie my knot. And this is how you make the bigger bow, which I don't think I've shown you guys how to make that bigger bow. And then you just pull it off and you have the perfect bow. Ta-da! Okay. So then what we're going to do is, if you'll notice here, it shows that we have these are our dimensionals, right? And I'm going to actually use a glue dot on the back of that just to put that, to make sure that my, once I put those dimensionals down, I'm actually going to use a glue dot to keep my bow in place. So I'm just going to come in, and again, can you guys believe I'm not using my take your pick tool? It's like, this is killing me. On my next one, I probably will, just to make it go a little bit faster. But again, I wanted to show you guys how you can use just what's in the kit and get these cards put together. So now what I want to do is grab one of these little glue dots, even though it didn't tell me to do this. This is just something you learn with time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that bow and I'm going to lay that down so that it stays in place when I turn this over. Then what you do is you just remove the tops of these. And you're going to flip that over, and it tells us exactly where to place it. So if you're one of those people that has to follow exactly what it's showing you, you have that opportunity to do that. And so I'm going to just take this, and it looks like it's kind of this way a little bit. And we're just going to lay that down, and then you would just kind of trim your bow. All right, now card 1 is done. Now the one thing that this doesn't tell you is how to decorate the inside. That's totally up to you on how to do it, but you have plenty of stamps. But I'm going to go ahead just so that you guys see it's not that hard to figure out like how to decorate the inside. Because the front says enjoy your day, and the other sentiment that we got back is sit back and relax. So those go together really good. So I'm going to remove this. Oh, I don't know if I clean this. Let me make sure I clean that. All right. So I'm going to remove that enjoy your day. And again, no instructions for this part of it, but I want to show you guys how to finish a card. And the reason that, you know, Stampin' Up! Doesn't give those instructions is because sometimes people have other stamp sets. Sometimes they want to say happy birthday. And so they may not want to use what's in here. So you basically can just open this up. Again, we're going to line this up. We're going to ink this up, and because it's my first time using it, I'm going to condition it. Okay. So I'm going to ink that up again. Oh, sorry, you're not seeing. Let me pull back. So I'm just inking that up. And I've got this on, you know, lined up. And I'm going to stamp it kind of towards the top. You guys can decide where you like your sentiment to be. Hopefully my head didn't get in that. Okay, so that says sit back and relax. So we're going to clean that off, and then I'm going to come in with one of those other stamps that we used on the front just to make it kind of go together. So I think we'll bring that really pretty vine in again, or leaf. Sorry, I'm trying to look up and make sure that I have everything in camera. And we're just going to come in and stick this in this bottom section right there. All right, so now you have a completed card. Boom, boom, boom. Super easy, guys, super easy. So let's do the second one. Now I am going to kind of bring in some of my other tools just so that this one can go a little bit quicker, because I want to have time to show you some of these cards that my grandkids did with one of the other or a couple of the other kits. Just so, again, you can see how easy it is for anyone to put these cards together. Okay, so let's go back up here. And we're going to go to card 2. So we need this card base. And we need one of the green leaves. We need the bigger, so I don't know if you noticed that we have a couple of different sizes. So this is the bigger of those two leaves. We're going to need the chair. And then we're going to need this other sentiment. All right, so those are all the pieces that we need for this one. So now I'm ready to start putting this one together. I'm just going to set this stuff right up here in my top left corner, which you guys probably can't see. So you can see how when you first get the kit, if you go ahead and tear all these pieces apart, and then a lot of times you get the, this is what like the block comes in. A lot of times I'll use this bag to put all of these extra pieces in if I have to stop and not finish the card. Because this is one of the things, this is one of the reasons my daughter doesn't do a lot of card making right now, is because she's got, you know, kids at home, and she'll sit down and she'll start thinking about, you know, putting cards together, and then she has to pull her inks out and pull everything out, and then it's time for dinner, but now she's got her table all mixed up. What's nice about these kits is that I have all this stuff spread all over the place, but all I have to do to pick it up really quick is bring my box in, throw everything back in the box, and I'm ready for dinner, and my table is clean. Boom, right? All right, so now we're going to do this big leaf. And again, I have to condition this one. So we're just going to stamp, stamp, stamp. Does anybody have any questions about these kits? And again, the reason I decided to show you these kits tonight is because through tomorrow, they are actually on sale up to 30% off. So really good deal. So it's telling me to stamp that image right there. So that gets stamped there. And then the other stamp that we're going to be using is, you know, does anyone have a good name for these kind of stamps? I mean, sometimes they look like little dots. I think this one's supposed to be kind of like sand. They're kind of my favorite stamps. Anytime I get a stamp set that has those in it, I actually get really excited, because I just think it gives a really neat look to the cards when you stamp these little like grungy type things in there. Splatter's a good one too. Yeah. So the splatter's going to go here, and then it's going to go over here. So yeah, splatter's a good one. You know, I was just wondering if there was a more technical name. I think I was supposed to use this side, but I used the back side of it, but that's fine. We're good. So I'll put some splatter there. Again, it just gives some dimension and texture, and that's why I like those. Pebbles, bubbles. Okay, I love all your splatter, pebbles, bubbles. Yes, all of the above. But yeah, I always, anytime I'm talking to a class, I always kind of fumble with which word to use for that type of a stamp. Okay, and then the last one we're going to do is that sit back and relax. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed me doing this, but for me to get, because these photopolymer stamps, they can like move, I lay it face down, and then I take my block and I just pick it up. And that way, especially on your sentiment ones, it keeps them straight on your block. Okay, so now we need this one. And I've already conditioned this one because I've already stamped it. All right, and so again, I'm going to line it up with my lined paper and try to get this centered without sticking my head in the camera. Am I doing okay? All right. Splotch. I like splotch too. Yeah, I agree, Susie. Yeah, you come up with a different name each time. Me too. I need to name it, and then that's what I need to call it every time, right? Just so that so that I'm saying the same thing every time. So I like all of your suggestions. I'm going to take one of those, and that's going to be my new word every time I use these. Okay, so I've done all my stamping, and so step 2 is to put on the leaf, it's to put some of the mini glue dots, and on that, or on the, I guess, the fern, and on that big leaf, it is to put dimensionals. So I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to bring back in my silicone mat just so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to bring both of these in at the same time. And so for this one, it's telling me to put the dimensionals there and there. And then, where did I put my little glue dots? And the other nice thing about this is usually we don't end up using all the glue dots and the dimensionals. So again, you want to store those in these little boxes so that you have them for the next card that you do. Because sometimes some of us can be a little heavy-handed with some of these things. And if you're one of those people that likes to put way more glue dots or way more dimensionals, then you definitely will want to save any extras so that you can do that as you collect these kits, and you'll get yourself a nice little stash of all of this going. You know, the nice thing about this is you can see that it's put mini glue dots and dimensionals, and that's all you need to put this card together. You don't need, because I have, you know, Tombow glue, I have a Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm not needing to use any of this to put this card together. So that's one of the other cool things about kits, is that it just takes a minimal amount of stuff to put them together. And I don't know about you guys, but I think these cards are so pretty. Of course, I love anything to do with the beach. Susie will tell you that. All right, so that one's going to go there. And this one is going to go here. Okay, the next thing it's telling me to do is to cut 7 inches of that twine. So I've got to open this back up again and bring in my twine. And remember, it's got the little ruler for you right here. So we're going to go from 0 to 7, which is right there. Oh, I guess you guys didn't see that. So if you missed that the first time, it's got a little ruler right down here that you can use to measure any type of ribbon that they put in and tell you to cut. And then it is telling me this time to put a little glue dot. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see that little glue dot right there. So it's telling me to place a glue dot right here and then wrap that around that end. So I'm going to take my glue dot and pull that topping off. And then I'm just going to start one end right there. And we're just going to wrap it, and we just kind of, you know, make it kind of curve around each other. So you kind of want to make a fun, and actually I didn't do that. So what I try to do is turn it to the front, because I kind of want it to have that like crisscross, at least one little crisscross, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. And then you're just going to push that down, and anything that comes up off the edge, you're going to snip. So see how I put one little crisscross on this edge? All right. Okay, so now I need to put 3 dimensionals. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to pull this up. And this is going to sit right like this on this card front. Trying to get it straight. Sorry, I'm trying to push this up so you guys can see it. For some reason, my camera is a little higher than normal. Normally, I can work kind of down here a little closer to myself, but it's not letting me do that. And then with our chair, again, it's telling me where to put the glue dots. Let me bring this in so you can see. And so I know you're not able to see. Oh, I guess you can see the directions. They're right there. And so this time, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool. This is our Take Your Pick tool. I love it. It usually is like my right hand, but I'm just so used to using it that this is how it's faster for me. Now, my grandkids do use the Take Your Pick tool sometimes, but they've got nice little teeny tiny hands and fingers, and so they can actually pull these off without folding them like I'm showing you how to do. My hands are obviously a little thicker, and so I have to fold these, but I also, you'll watch me fold. I'm so used to folding them when I use these that I do it even to get my Take Your Pick tool to get up underneath there. And then they just come off like super duper easy when you do that. All right, so that's where it told me to put those. Now the other cool thing, because this has a sharp edge, I can just poke each of these pieces of paper and they just come right off. Again, that's why I like the Take Your Pick tool. Again, you don't have to have it to do these kits, but I'm kind of a tool person. So I guess I call it easy buttons. If there's anything that makes it easy for me, that's my jam. Okay, so that's going to sit on there like so. All right, and then card 2 is finished. All right, and then for the, I'm not going to do the inside of this one because I showed you on the first one how you can just take these other stamps. I would just take this stamp, I would stamp it again, and then I would stamp that enjoy your day on the inside. Okay, guys, so that's how easy it is to put these kits together. Super simple, super easy. The instructions are like so easy. And then kind of like I said, so let's say, hey, it's time for me to, stop because I've got guests coming over. So then what I do is I take all of these little pieces and I put it in this little plastic bag that the block was in, because the block doesn't have to be in the bag. But I can take all these little pieces, and the labels probably don't need to be in there, but I would probably put them in there anyway. And I'm just going to stick them all in this little bag. And then all of this is going to go back in that box, and ready for, let's say it was time for me to cook dinner. Okay, I can stop. I can cook dinner. I'm ready to go. And voila, we are good to go. So for those of you that are casual and avid stampers, you might be asking me, how do these fit into my craft room? And the way they fit into your craft room is kind of like I said earlier, is all these extra pieces that you might have. Oh yeah, and let me just show you. Look how pretty they are with the envelopes, right? That's the envelope that you would be sending it in. How pretty is that? So pretty. But again, those of you that are avid and casual stampers, then, kind of like I said, you would possibly cut this card base in half and use both sides, and then you would get double the cards. And then you would, back it with whatever you want to back it with. And then you could, possibly bring in some of these pieces and use it. You might have some other die sets or other stamps that in your collection that would go really well with this set. So that's how a casual or an avid stamper, you can add a lot more stuff to this. We have a lot of C ones right now that this would coordinate with. Oh, and I did want to show you, and I think it does actually tell us that. No, this one doesn't. So it does say coordinate Stampin' Up! Colors, and so it tells you all the different colors that you can use to do this. And then it also has, look at this, it also has a little Q code here. Learn stamping basics when you scan this QR code. So really cool things that come with this kit that, especially if you're a beginner stamper, this is something that would work really well in your maybe not craft room, but in your closet, right? Okay, so let me bring in a couple of the other kits that my grandkids have done, just because this one, I don't even know if this one's still available, but it's called the Best Remedy Kit. And so I just want to show you these super cute cards. And see, and then again, you know, they're gaining all of these stamp sets so they're going to have a nice little collection of stamp sets with blocks to continue to make cards. So this was that one. Look how cute those are. Super cute. And then Emmett really went to town with this. This robot kit one is so cute because it comes with so many stickers. They were actually able to really kind of use their own imagination and make a bunch of different cards with this one. So I'm just going to show you the cards, but again, these are all part of the kits collection. I'm going to have to kind of go on top of things, but see, like these are kind of the same. And then they decided they wanted to stamp and kind of do their own thing. And so look at all of the cards that they made out of the robot one. Super cute, right? And this was a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old that didn't ask for my help one bit. They sat down, they looked at the directions. Look at these, have those little googly eyes. Can you guys see those? How super cute, right? And so Emmett decided that this one needed a third eye. All right, and that's what's cool is that, you know, it gives you or your grandkids or your kids a way to use your creativity with not taking a lot of space out of your home, because they're nice and compact. You can pick it all up if someone drops in on you, if you need to go somewhere. And then while you're watching TV at night, you know, you can pull this out and you can use a little TV tray. That's all the space you need to make these cards. So really super great idea. I'm so glad that Stampin' Up! Came out with these kits, because the only other kits that we have are the Paper Pumpkin, which are a subscription, which a lot of people don't necessarily want to do a subscription, because the Paper Pumpkin is a surprise every month. You don't know what you're getting, but with these kits, you know what you're getting. So let me just kind of show you how you would go about. Obviously, if you just click on the link that's in the descriptions of this video, it'll take you to my store, and then let me show you what to do when you get there. So when you get here, you can see it says kit sale. So if this banner is up, you can click on that kit. Now this Festive Tags kit is one of the kits that's available. And so you're just going to go over to the menu over here and see right here, it says kits. So you're just going to click on this kit and it shows the whole kits collections. And just so you guys know, I showed you the card kits, but we have crafting kits as well. And then we have the tag kits. And so if you're interested in the card kits, you just click here where it says shop now, and all of the card kits that are available, and you can see that they are on sale right now through tomorrow, but all of these are the kits that are available. And you can just scroll through, and let's say that you need a bunch of thank you cards. Here's a kit to do that. Okay, here's a friendship kit card. Here's one that's more for masculine. So we have everything. This one is the birthday card organizer kit. And so this one comes with this really neat binder that it has a pocket for every month. You make these cards and you stick those in there. And then you're ready to mail out. It also, you can write everybody's names for that month. So let me go back and just show you the crafting kits, just in case crafting is more your thing. So you'll find the Festive Tags. This is a wreath of blooms, so this is a home decorating item. And then there's some treat kits in here. And there's this magnet board kit that is in here. This is a notebook kit. And so you guys can see that there's something for everybody here. If you're not a card maker but you do want to craft, you can get those. So again, I went up to menu and I just clicked on kits, and that's what got me to that section right there. All right. So hopefully that kind of showed you how easy our kits are, how fun they can be. And think about, I mean, I think about, because people ask me all the time, so what's a good thing to do with kits? A good thing to do with kits is to have you and some of your friends go online, buy the kits that you want, and then get together and have a really fun card making kit, or even crafty. If they like craft, if they want to do a craft kit, do a craft kit. If you want to do a card kit, do a card kit. But it's something to gather together with families and friends and be able to make things together, which is always fun. So anyway, again, guys, there is a link in the comments that will take you straight to my shop. And then you just you click on shop and click on kits, and you are ready to go. So again, they're up to 30% off until tomorrow, starting September 1st. The kits will still be available, but they won't be on sale. So that's kind of why I felt I needed to do this tonight for you guys. Because I didn't want you to miss out on the sale if you guys decide that kits are something that will really fit with you. It's something that maybe you've been thinking about stamping, but you're not, you don't want to, like buy 10 million products to get started. Kits are the best place to start to get you started with your stamping. So anyway, guys, have a good night. And oh, look, I'm a minute under an hour. Woohoo! Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it was helpful. And for those of you that will be at the paper pumpkin class tomorrow, Susie was going to teach it, but she has something that she's got to go take care of. So you guys get me tomorrow. So I'm going to be teaching the classes tomorrow. And so I'm going to get to see all you guys tomorrow. And so I'm excited about that. If you guys do have questions, if you're new to Stampin' Up, you have questions about paper pumpkin and subscription one is kind of what you're interested in, let me know. But again, those are kind of a surprise, and you don't really know what's coming. But get into these kits, guys, and start using them, because they're a quick way to make cards and have them available to mail out to people. And remember, you can mix and match. If you need birthday cards, make them birthday cards. If you need sympathy cards, make them sympathy cards. Do whatever you need to do. All you got to do is change up the sentiments. Everybody have a great night, and I will see some of you tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, so glad.